Alright, this is lesson 3A. So, okay, so I want to make this line go away. I'm pretty sure you guys already did this, but I kind of caught right back up. Display user contour line. That is false. Go away. Good deal. So, that's fine. So I'm going to right click create catchment group. These are going to be the existing surface, always abbreviate. Click OK. Right click, create catchment from surface. So we're going to do this thing that says to select a discharge point. So we're going to select right here. We're going to change a few things. We're going to change that. We don't need to change this. And you can add your pipes into here, but we're not going to. You can change the catchment, the catchment group that this catchment we're going to make belongs to, and we're going to click OK. So what that did was it populated the longest flow path from within the space that I clicked, and right there it says that where I selected was the longest flow path. And you can kind of figure this out because like this would be the highest point on the surface because it's at 100 it's above 104, and this would be the lowest point because it's below 101. And so if we select over here, we can do name an area, and then this right here is a counter. I'm not going to go in detail, but essentially it's going to automatically number your thing for you. So what happened there was no catchment there, so it just kind of didn't tell me anything. So that's annoying. But if you kind of click in the general position I'm clicking, we'll find all of our catchments. So right here is another catchment. And you can see that it shows the longest flow path, which is from here to here, and there should be another catchment down here if I click this spot. So what I'm changing every time is the label style. We're going to use a label style in a little while to do some things that you're going to think are kind of cool, maybe, hopefully. Okay. Dude, this is being annoying. I want my catchment. There it is, I found it. So, there's the last catchment. The rest of it, I'll show you here. If we go to Analyze, and we go to Flow Paths, we use Create Flow Path from Surface. Then you select the catchment. So, that's not what we want. We want to just do regular water drops. We can change the layer that it goes on, and we can change the type of polyline that it comes up. That's kind of complicated, but it doesn't really matter. If we do, yes, we want to place a start point at the point where you click, you'll see why, because they get kind of hectic. So right now, if I click right here, it'll go right off the surface, and you can see that as I keep doing this, it's just making lines that lead off the surface in the quickest and highest, best slope for the water. And this is going to go off the surface, and this, and this, and this. But this is going to go into the surface because it's in the catchment. Fairly simple concept. It's going to keep sloping down like that. Watch this. So if I click up here, it actually splits. You see that at this point, it's the same slope to go this way or this way, so it splits in half, and the rest of it goes there. So technically you can call this the longest flow path, but without separation, this is, look around, you can see that I wasn't lying to you. In fact, this does give you flow paths. So yeah, that's kind of what your surface is going to look like, but we're going to get rid of all these. So a few things to note. These are AutoCAD points, I believe. Yeah, it's just this point entity, and this here is part of the catchment. And I think the blue central point is a Cogo point. No, I lied. I don't know where the Cogo point is, but it's somewhere. I can find it if I try hard enough. Showed you guys that. I think what I wanted to do next was show you how to change the surface label styles. So we'll start off with a super easy add label to location. So what this is going to do is it's going to select the location and stick a label, but we're not done there. So if we select this, right click, edit label style, so when you open this, show a few options. Create a child is gonna, when you view it, it's gonna come out as like a little drop-down menu beneath the label style. So if you had label styles that had a circle around them, and then you had a green label style and a blue label style, that doesn't make any sense to you now, but you'll see in a few seconds. We can create something new from scratch, and we can copy from a current selection or pick from the drawing. That's kind of interesting. I forgot you could do that. Where you just edit what you have. That's kind of scary. I'll show you why that's scary in a few seconds. We're going to start off with copying current selection, which is the safest thing to do almost always. So this is a general note label, but we're going to say general note red because we want it to be red. Okay, so there's a few things you can change in here. General, the only thing that you'll ever want to maybe change in here is the layer that it comes in on automatically when you create a label. So if you have the layer 2 selected when you click add, if I had layer 2 selected and I clicked add a note, it would actually come in on layer 1 because this is set up that the label would come in on layer 1. And the rest is kind of hard to understand, so we're not going to. So within a label, there's a few different things you can add to it. You can add lines, blocks, reference text, and ticks. Text is probably the most useful thing to you, and if you really cared, you'd learn about the other things, but that's not what I'm going to make you learn. So, contents, this is super simple. Whatever it says in contents is what your label says. So I can say, hi, class, and it'll say, hi, class. And that's kind of cool. And that's going to be the default for whenever you select, whenever you place a label, it'll say, hi, class. But that's not super useful. I'm sure you can figure that out for yourself. But you can add these quick info properties, whatever. That's what I'm going to call them. I'm sure they have a cooler name than that. But so every point you just point. So what we did is we clicked a point. So your point has a northing and an easting. You figure that out in lesson 1, hopefully. So you can give it just that. You can say, hey, put the northing and easting right there, and then it'll come out in one line like that. So you can add the point elevation. So right there, it'll give you the number point elevation, give you the number northing, and then it'll say hi class. And then you can give it longitude, latitude, which will come from, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, scale factor. That's all stuff that you can add to it. You can get crazy with it. You can change the bold, underline, font, color, and whatnot. So technically I could change this line here to red, and I could change this text here to green, and I could change this to blue, and this will be the default every single time I make a label. I'll have all these different colors of text. So that's pretty interesting. We're not going to do that. But we are going to back out, and I'm going to show you how a way to do point elevation. So we're going to click that, click OK. We're going to play with this a little bit more. So the text height is the default text height for this label style. kind of self-explanatory rotation angle. You can make all your labels rotate a certain degree. Attachment, that's complicated. Visibility, you can turn them all off if you want to do that. Probably screw with somebody. Probably like confuse them. So this is what's interesting. So if you've been noticing this, our rounded rectangle that we've been using to surround our text has been growing and expanding or shrinking back down depending on what's inside. So I'll do a really good example. So right now it's got a circle. Change it. We're gonna add 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And you can see that the circle got a lot bigger. So something to note, this is why it's so good, is that it's all automated and you only have to change one thing. And that's it. So we're going to do, we never made it red. So right here, if we want to edit what we have selected, edit current selection. I didn't even finish showing you everything I should show you. So change the color, red. Okay, so that says that the color of the text will be red because it's under the text drop down. Another thing is that the border you saw didn't change, so we have to also select the border. And that's not even half of it. So you can have multiple types bodies of text within the label, and I'm just gonna say that, and you can play with it if you feel like it, but you don't have to figure out how to use it. But you have to know that there are two different states a label can be in. It can be dragged or it can be normal, how you placed it. So that's not what it's called. It's called layout, but that doesn't really make sense. So the drag state is it's just when you drag the label out from an object. So whenever you place a label, it'll be in layout state. But when you do this, it's in drag state. And you saw that the border around it went away because it's not a I can't think of the word, because it's not in the drag state. It's in the this is so confusing. Okay, so the border visibility is set to sometimes I don't like this. So ignore this. This is not right because it's only showing the label that is in regular layout state. It's not showing a label that is in drag state. We just have to kind of imagine what it's going to look like. And there's no previews here that'll show you. It'll show you some other things, but not what you want. So just ignore that. The preview on the right. But you can change border visibility to true or false. Right now it's on false. You can see that because there's no border around it. We can do the same thing. Add borders, change the color of borders, leader attachment, text height. And this is all super useful, but understand that the changes you make to it in layout state have to be duplicated in drag state if you want the border, if you want the label to remain the same, have the same properties. So, okay, we're going to do a few things. So right here we're going to say edit label text. So this is a boring label. We can backspace and say hi class like I did previously, but this is not the same thing as when you edit the label style and you change it to contents. What that did was change the single label and just that label. So I'm going to do something else. I say add label right here. So I'm going to bring them to the same. So I'm going to bring them to the same state. So right now it's in layout. Now it's in drag. So I'm going to show you something. When I edit the label style, it resets the text changes I made to everything. So right now you'll see you say contents, change it to say I need these points to show the point elevation. Right, add that point. So click OK. Well, That's a bad example. So, say, what can I don't know. Okay, that's good. Existing surface. So, what that's going to do is it's going to make the text go back to normal, and it'll just say existing surface. See, it should change that one. But if I were to change this label style to something else, so if I say edit label style, change it to standard, click OK, it changes the text back to the default. If I change it back to general note, it's going to say existing surface. So that's my spiel on that. You can play with it a lot more. Every label that AutoCAD creates through what I'm going to show you will be automated, and if it errors, you're going to have to fix it, or Davenport and I will have to fix it. So yeah, that's it for this video. It's probably way too long.